I'm excited because today I have a very, very strange banana variety. This is the I. I'm probably saying that wrong. So look at this thing. It has stripes, which makes it so cool. This is a Polynesian banana, and it was considered to be sacred once upon a time, so only royalty was allowed to eat it. Common people, for them, it was forbidden. Not only does the fruit have stripes to it, but the entire plant, including the leaves and everything, has those stripes on it. And because of that, it's very popular as an ornamental. However, it is, I've heard it's kind of difficult to grow. It grows fast, but it's difficult. And for that reason, it's very rare. I read online that I translates to hair turning gray. I'm not sure what language that is, because when you put I into Google Translate, translating Hawaiian to English, I translates to yes, yes, not hair that's turning gray. Before I get too far, I want to thank MiamiFruit.org for sending this to me. They sell these online, and you can buy these yourself. They're kind of expensive because they're very, very rare, but if you want to try something that is so weird and looks so cool, definitely take a look at the link in the description below. The I is a dual-purpose banana, which means that you can eat it raw or you can eat it cooked. And much like many other dual-purpose bananas, if you want to eat this thing raw, that means you want it to ripen more than your standard dessert banana. Which seems kind of unfortunate since it looks so cool when it's unripe, but when it ripens, it looks like this. So even from a distance, you probably can't even see the stripes, but if you get way up in there, you can see some of those little lines on it. You can see some of that variegation. Now this one here is actually probably okay, but one that's going to taste even better than that is probably this one here, where it looks a little bit darker. I have one other one, and this one is like brown as hell. This one I think is probably going to be a little overripe. So I think this is what you're looking for as far as ripeness goes. You can see on the inside, it's totally fine. Even though it's dark on the outside, on the inside it's perfectly white and creamy. And I know a lot of you are typing right now that I'm opening it the wrong way. Deal with it. You can see that the coloring on it is a little bit yellowish. It's got a yellowish orangish tinge to it. The peel, as you can see, is very thin. It's kind of brittle, so it's a little bit difficult to peel this thing because it kind of falls apart while you're peeling it. And if you break it, you can see it looks pretty good. I think this is going to be a little bit juicy. It's good. The flavor on that is far superior to a standard Cavendish supermarket banana. It's quite sweet. It reminds me a little bit of the apple banana, which if you remember that episode, tastes like banana, but with like a slight apple taste to it. It's in that direction. It's got a slight appley taste to it, rather than some other bananas which may have a slight citrusy taste or slight berry-like flavor. Sweetness on it is, I'd say, it's on par with a regular Cavendish banana. Your standard supermarket banana is like a, I don't know, like a 2 out of 10 on tartness. This one's like a 3. The texture on it is very like smooth and a little slick. It's not slimy, but it's like smooth. So when you bite into it, it's got a rather pleasant, like creamy texture to it. And since this is a dual-purpose banana, let's do it the other way. I'm going to try cooking this. So I'm going to cut off the ends like that and just score the peel, and that should now separate like so. Just going to cut these into slices. So I chucked them in a pan and I'm frying them in butter. I'm also going to cook up a yellow one. So this one is not quite ripe enough to eat raw, but it's not green either. So this would be like the equivalent of like a yellow plantain rather than a green plantain. Here is my delicious collection of cooked II bananas. Smells really good. I'm first going to start with the ripe one to see what this is like. That is really good. That's the way to do it. Take these bananas when they are at the stage where you would normally eat a banana. Don't eat it raw, but cook it, because that is just like caramel. It tastes like very, very sweet. This just climbed that sweetness scale. When I had this when it was raw, it was maybe a 5 or a 6 out of sweetness, around the same as a normal banana. But now it's like a 9. I didn't add any extra sugar to it, but this thing is now almost as sweet as sugar. It tastes like bananas, but if you just like crank up the flavor. So that is definitely the best way to eat this thing, is to cook it. So next, let me try the unripe one, cooked. It's really good, but it tastes almost exactly like a potato. More so like a potato than your regular plantains even. Like, that is very potatoey. Yeah, that tastes just, it tastes like eating a French fry. Like, if I had some ketchup, I would put some ketchup on that. Oh. Well, everybody, you know what that sound means. It is time for everybody's favorite segment, Will It Ketchup? Now, a fun fact about this is that bananas are used to make ketchup in the Philippines. There's a famous food scientist from the Philippines, Maria E. Arosa, probably saying that wrong, who during World War II created this as a way to meet the demand for ketchup in a country that doesn't have ketchup. They're running out of supplies, so she had the idea of using something that is all over the place, bananas, to make a ketchup substitute. And it stuck. So if you go to the Philippines, you actually can see banana ketchup all over the place. It's very common. If you go to like fast food places, they will have banana ketchup. There are a few common dishes as well, such as Filipino-style spaghetti, which has banana ketchup in it. So I'm going to use the II banana to make banana ketchup, which actually makes a little bit of sense because the banana that is usually used in the Philippines is the Saba banana, and that one also is a dual-purpose banana. So I think this one might work just as well. For this recipe, I have half an onion, 2 cloves of garlic, 1 mildly hot chili pepper, some spices. In here I have half a teaspoon of ginger, a pinch of celery seed, 1 allspice berry, some other stuff too, I don't know. And this is 1/4 cup of brown sugar. This is 1 cup of my bananas. And this is half a cup of white vinegar. Throw in a splash of oil, 2 splashes of oil. In goes the onion, the garlic, the chili. Next, spices. You let this cook until everything is translucent. Looking okay. So I'm going to add vinegar. Ow. That steam just got me. And the water. Brown sugar. And the banana. And this is going to cook on medium heat for 10 minutes. And by the way, you can use both very ripe bananas or slightly unripe bananas. If you want this to have a very strong sweet banana flavor, you go more ripe. If you want this to have less of a banana flavor, you go a little bit underripe. The ones that I'm using, it's a little hard to gauge, but I think they're pretty much ripe. They're not overripe, they're not underripe, they're just like ripe. Well, it has been 10 minutes and I turned off the heat and it looks pretty gross. Looks pretty gross. But I still need to blend it, and also if it's not gonna look like ketchup, it's very often dyed red. So it'll actually look just like regular ketchup and it has the consistency of ketchup, however the flavor will be a little bit different. Very often it will have artificial banana flavoring in it. This is not going to be like that. This is probably going to taste less like bananas and more like ketchup than actual banana ketchup that you get at a store. Let's blend this up. So I'm going to pass it through a fine mesh strainer. It's working. Okay. I'll be back, guys. Not exactly the consistency of ketchup. It's more like the consistency of gravy. I think that's because bananas are a little slimier than tomatoes. This, by the way, is what is left over after pushing all that ketchup through the strainer. So I still have maybe like a half a cup of this banana pulp, which is totally edible. In fact, most of the recipes for banana ketchup that I was looking at did not say to strain it at all, but I wanted to do that in order to get the consistency right. So you can save this for one of those days where you're feeling like chunky style ketchup. Those 3 bananas got almost 3/4 of the way full. So it's not too bad. No! My cat almost knocked over my camera. That's good. And there she is. So this is going to go into the fridge until it's cool. It's actually thickened up, so it's a little bit more like regular ketchup. I think after another day in the fridge, it'll be even thicker. So first I'm going to try some just like on its own. Wah! And also get it all over the place. Okay. Yeah, it's a little bit more liquidy. That is good. Not exactly like regular ketchup though. It's sweeter. It's not as savory tasting. It does have a banana flavor in it, not a tomato flavor. I think that would work just as well as regular ketchup, but because it's a little sweeter, it might work better on things that have a little bit of sweetness to them. Like put that on like a sweet potato or something. Let me try a little bit on this plantain. That's a lot of ketchup. Okay. Some of the recipes actually call for tomato paste, and if you were to do that, I think this would taste a lot like ketchup. This is like fairly mild in its banana flavor. So I think if you were to give this to somebody and say, what is this? What is this made out of? I don't know if they would guess banana, but if you said, hey, this is ketchup made out of something other than a tomato, what did I make it out of? They probably would say banana, if that makes sense. It's remotely banana-like, but it is distant enough where you can use it for things that you would normally not want a banana on. I don't think I like banana ketchup as much as regular ketchup, but it might just be because regular ketchup is what I'm used to. I think that banana ketchup is different enough where you might want to have some on hand if you want to do something cool at like a dinner party or something. If you're gonna make burgers, have a barbecue or something, use this instead, and it's gonna be like I'll add a little tropical element to what you're doing. It's similar enough where it can be used where ketchup is used, but it also has like a different sort of flavor where it'll like jazz it up a little bit. Or if you're in a pinch and you really need some ketchup and you have a lot of time, not a lot of money, and a whole lot of bananas, this is one way to do it as well. So I think that's about it. The I banana is incredible. It's incredible looking, and it tastes pretty good as well. It's good raw, and it's great when you cook it. So thanks again to miamifruit.org for sending this to me. Check out their website in the description below if you'd like to get this yourself or any of their other fine fruit products. I've got a promo code down there as well. And yeah, I'll see you next time. Bye. I want to give a special shout out to AltPod and Smarter Every Day. They are mega patrons over on patreon.com. Patreon is how this channel happens. It's how I can afford to do all the things that I do. So if you want to help me out by supporting the channel and getting some bonuses along the way, check out the description. I also have these shirts for sale. Those are in the description as well. See you next time. Bye.